wildflower grow. Oh, keep growing, growing, growing.
In early spring, these nondescript plants begin to appear. They look like any other new sprouts. The best way to identify them is to crush their leaves and smell. Their scent is a mix of oregano with a bit of mint and thyme. So, what are they? Often they're lumped under the common name bee balm, but many know them by their genus name, Monarda. No matter what they're called, they're all perennials with square stems and opposite leaves, which is typical of plants in the mint family. It doesn't matter what species of Monarda you use. Both leaves and flowers of all hybrids and cultivars are edible. An added plus is that deer don't eat them. However, if you plant them, they may tend to take over and wander off to different spots in your garden. Monardas are easiest to spot in July and August, when they're much taller and in bloom. They come in many varieties. The two most often found in Massachusetts are Scarlet Bee Balm and Wild Bergamot. One way to tell these two native plants apart before they flower is that leaves of Scarlet Bee Balm have fine hairs and are a bit rougher than the velvety ones of Wild Bergamot. The Oswego Indians of New York introduced American colonists to Oswego tea, a beverage made from Scarlet Bee Balm leaves. This Liberty tea was used by the colonists as a substitute for the imported teas they threw overboard during the Boston Tea Party. Wild bergamot has showy pink and lavender flowers. It's often used as an ornamental and medicinal plant. In spite of its common name, it's not the source of the bergamot flavor in Earl Grey tea, which is from an entirely different plant. However, a tea can still be made from wild bergamot leaves. These have a savory flavor and are high in thymol, an aromatic compound found in Listerine mouthwash. To make a tea from either variety, it's best to use leaves before plants bloom. They can be fresh or dried. Try this easy sun tea recipe. Gather a handful of leaves, tear them into pieces, place in a cup, cover with water, and put in a sunny spot. Tamp the leaves down every once in a while to release more flavor. I usually leave it for an hour or longer. The tea tastes like liquid oregano. To make a more traditional tea, heat water and pour it over a small amount of leaves and let steep for 10 minutes or more. Here are some things besides tea to do with the leaves of these two plants. Use fresh or dried ones as a New England substitute for oregano. Add newly emerged fresh leaves to a salad. Use young leaves in combination with other available greens to make pesto. After the plant has flowered, add their older leaves to hot sauces. Although these plants attract bees like a magnet, their leaves also help people if they happen to be stung. Just rub a leaf on the skin to alleviate stings or to act as an insect repellent. To dry leaves, place them in a cool spot. Add powdered ones along with salt, melted butter, or olive oil to popcorn. Yummy! Flowers are useful too. Both of these plants have distinctive tubular petals that look like a wacky Halloween wig. Bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds love the flowers, and I do too. There are several ways to utilize them. For example, sprinkle fresh ones on pasta. Add them as a colorful accent to salads. Float the petals in various drinks. Or finally, put Scarlet Bee Balm flowers in any variety of white vinegar and strain them out after 4 to 6 weeks. The vinegar will turn red. These plants have a long growing season, so why not check them out?